Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This reading is for the full moon in Aquarius. This is late Tuesday night, so we'll call it Wednesday, August 2nd. So it was kind of earlier this afternoon, but the energy is still there. I apologize for my voice. I was choking on something earlier, and I had to cough for half an hour, and that didn't do my voice any good. So I want to read this quote that I read the other night, and I really like it, and I don't know who this person is. His name is William Morris Hunt, and in 1876, apparently, he said, "There is only one way to have light, have dark to put it on." I like that because so many times, you listen to some spiritual groups or ideas or whatever, and it's like they want it all one-sided, and I don't think it works that way, at least not on Earth. I don't know about other places, but we need the opposites here, and the darkness is not always a bad thing. Anyway, I just want to talk a bit about the astrology because it's so, I hope you can see this. I tried to print this out. Well, actually, I did I did it. But I have difficulty pointing to it when I'm holding it up. So I will try. Anyway, so here is the sun in Leo at 9 degrees, and opposite it, because we're having a full moon, is the moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees. And they are making what's called a T-square, which means they are each 90 degrees approximately from Jupiter, which is at 13 degrees Taurus. So it's making, they're each squaring Jupiter, which is a square is a tense aspect. It's kind of like if you were trying to walk across the room and there's a big block of cement in the middle of the room, and you have to either walk around it or jump over it or hit your shins on it. It's like you can't ignore it. Let's make it a column. Like, it's like there's no getting around it. They're both faced with, and Jupiter is a planet of, I just broke off my sentence there, I realized. Jupiter is a planet, it's a beneficial planet. So it rules hope and meaning and purpose and freedom and philosophy and teaching and higher learning. So it's a positive planet, but when it's a square, it's a challenging aspect. So right now, the sun, which is in Leo, which rules our self-expression, is being challenged to find meaning. So you might be kind of wondering, like, what am I doing? What do I want to do with my life? What am I here for? And then the moon's in Aquarius squaring Jupiter. Aquarius is a sign of, it has two rulers, Saturn and Aquarius. So it's a sign of the collective, which is Uranus. I just said it was ruled by, my words are so goofy. That's why I didn't post last night. I couldn't talk. Something's going on with my words. I don't know. So let me try this again. So Aquarius is ruled by two planets, Saturn and Uranus. Uranus rules the collective, and Aquarius is about the collective, but it's also, oddly, about the individual. It's about being different. It's how are you different from other people, like in a weird way, but in a good weird way or a bad weird way. I don't know. It's about your individuality. Aquarius loves innovation. It's very progressive thinking. So that's where the moon is, and the moon is your emotion. So we have a lot of what I would consider to be the urge to break free of limitations. There's a lot of straining of wanting freedom right now, with Jupiter involved in this T-square. And then this other red line I've drawn is between Mercury, who is in Virgo, and Mercury rules Virgo, although actually I think it should be Chiron, personally, and also do a lot of other astrologers. But for right now, Mercury, who rules our thinking, is in Virgo, which is very detail-oriented and work-oriented and service-oriented. It's an earth sign. And it's exactly opposite Saturn in Pisces at 5 degrees. So we have Mercury, which is pretty, it's communication. So it's pretty open, and it's in kind of a sign that gets a kind of a bad rap for being, kind of perfectionistic and a little bit, what's the word? Just a little tight. And then it's opposite Saturn, which is restrictions and responsibilities, which is in Pisces, which is oneness. So this is kind of a paradox. It's almost like these two planets are kind of very different, and these two signs are very different, although they're opposite each other, which means they complement each other, they need each other. So again, I feel like there's a feeling of you're mentally wanting to break free of restriction and wanting access to that oneness. And Saturn saying, okay, but we have to dot the T's and cross the I's, and Mercury and Virgo is saying, yes, I know, but because Mercury is all about the details. So there's a harmony here, and there's also kind of an opposition, because they are opposite each other, where I just feel like there's a lot of wanting to break free. And then we have Mars right here at 13 degrees of Virgo. So it's basically, let's see, what my math is stinking. Is that 8 degrees? Yeah. 8 degrees from Mercury. That's a pretty wide conjunction, but almost, not quite. Almost conjunct Mercury. But Mars is exactly trine, and a trine is 120 degrees. That's a beneficial aspect. Is trining Jupiter. So physically, you're having a lot of energy and a lot of get up and go, and it might even be because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, even though it's in Taurus right now. I hope I'm not being too confusing. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of feeling of wanting freedom right now. You might be feeling like any kind of restriction is too much, and might even be having the urge to just kind of like run away, like, I want to do my thing. When's it my turn? I'm sick of, you might be a little tired of always considering everybody else's emotions and viewpoint. You might be a little stuck in your own story right now, like, what about me? I want to express myself. Why do I always have to worry about what other people think? That's just what I'm getting from the astrology. And also it looks like maybe from the cards, but I'm not sure. So I pulled them, but I haven't thought about them. So let's start out. And it's interesting because we got 3 major arcana, and it's, so the sun's in Leo. So what do I draw? The card for Leo. This is Leo, the lion. And this is about overcoming your fears, your doubts, whatever that's keeping you. And also it can be I keep interrupting my own sentences. How rude of me. Whatever's keeping you from achieving your best, he's trying to tame the beast so that he can, really let his light shine. So even though the lion represents royalty, you got to tame it. You can't just let it, roar itself around. You want it. You want to shine your light, but you want to do it so that you're in control of your own emotions. So here's the sun in Leo. And then, so this is the full moon. We get the moon card. So here's the moon in, what did I say the moon is in? It is in Aquarius. So here's the moon, which actually rules, Cancer, the sign of Cancer, because there's the crab. And the moon is our emotions, but I think it's pretty cool that, we got the Leo card and then the moon card, and this is the full moon. So here's our subconscious energy from the full moon, which is lighting up our innards, our insides. And strength is in, the sun in Leo is more about how you appear on the outside, what you let out, what you shine, what you give to others. And the moon is about what's inside you. How do you feel? So you might be having a conflict right now between what you want to do for others and how you feel about yourself and what you need. What are your needs? And then I do the Queen of Swords in reverse. And I think this is interesting because I would say she's very Aquarian. She looks like the water bearer, which is Aquarius, pouring out the water. I wish I had the book for this deck, but I do not. I got this off eBay. It was terribly expensive because they're out of print. And no book. So I have a feeling this is the card for Aquarius, though, because it's air energy, and Aquarius is an air sign. And she's in the reverse. So you're thinking right now, with the full moon in Aquarius, your thinking might be a little bit not so rational. It might be being influenced heavily by your emotions. So probably not a great time to make important decisions. And also you might find that your mental energy is like running wild, you know, with the full moon. You could just have like all kinds of thoughts in your head. And then we get the Six of Wands, and this is the victory card. Yay, okay. This is Jason. He's got the golden fleece. And as a vegetarian, I don't appreciate that it looks like he's killed the poor thing. But anyway, we won't go there. So sixes are victory cards. Okay, and I'm thinking this could be the Mars trine Jupiter card, where physically you're feeling more optimistic and you feel like you've accomplished something, or you're ready to accomplish something. You're like, yeah, let's go, you know. But usually this means that you have achieved something and you're finally recognizing that. Or maybe you just got a, you know, who knows, maybe something good finally came in and you did achieve something over the past few days. And then I do the Page of Swords. This is another Aquarian card because this is communication. This is Mercury also. And Mercury is in Virgo. So this is information and communication on a minor level. It's not major like the Queen of Swords. And again, she's in reverse, so that's why I'm thinking that whatever communication or thoughts you're having right now in your head might be a little mixed up. And the Page of Swords, because this page is very young and immature, this can mean some kind of not great communication as well, where someone gets something mixed up. And again, watch your mouth with, you know, with this full moon in Aquarius, because you might kind of, I don't know, I just get the feeling you might be a little, with Mars trine Jupiter, you might be a little free with your words and then later regret it. So, because this can be kind of like immature communication energy. And then we get our friend, the Nine of Swords, which is, you know, when you're plagued by horrible thoughts that just won't stop, and you're constantly worrying and you don't know who to believe, and your mind's leading you down all these dark paths and you're sick of it. So remember that the 9 comes before the 10. So you're almost, you know, it's kind of like you're getting fed up with this, the voices in your head. And since it's in reverse, I think that's a good thing. I think they're starting to die down, or you're finally getting sick enough of them that you're going to replace them with positive thoughts, because it's not a great card. Then I get another card in reverse, the Knight of Wands. And again, this could be that Mars trine Jupiter, where, and also the full moon in Aquarius, where you feel like a rebel, where you're just like, I want to do it my way. Okay, I want to just run out of here and do it now, and I'm tired of waiting, and I'm sick of everybody else telling me what to do. There's a lot of anti-authority here, I feel, too, and in the sky. But it's in reverse, so it's telling me, cool your jets, you know, don't run away. Sit with the energy. It's not going to kill you. You know, it's not quite time to move yet, even though you've achieved a victory over here of some kind. I'm pointing and you can't see it. You have achieved a victory on either a spiritual or a physical level. Usually they go hand in hand, in my opinion. But it's not time for the whole show yet. We're not quite, you know, it's not quite time to make your big move, even though the Sun in Leo wants to. And then the last card I drew is the Chariot, which is interesting because we're being pulled in two different directions. You could say this is the moon, this is the sun. You know, full moons are so interesting because it's when the sun and moon are opposite each other that they can see each other clearly, which is, of course, a paradox because they're the farthest apart, but life is a paradox. So it kind of makes sense. You know, we have the clarity when we can achieve the objectivity to move away from the situation and look at it, which is what Aquarius is all about. It's about objective thinking. And so the Chariot is saying, look at both sides, you know, somehow, even though they appear to want to go in different directions, you can only move ahead if they're united. And they don't have to agree with each other, but they have to both allow each other to be. So if you have two different thoughts in your head, and one is saying, you know, I want to run away, and the other one's saying, I want to stay here and do this, maybe you can figure out a way to achieve both of the feelings that you want to achieve with one action, even though the feelings may be opposite. One might be freedom, one might be responsibility. With that Mercury opposite Saturn, how can you integrate the two and feel free while maintaining your responsibility? That's the question. I was going to draw some oracle cards, but the fairies just jumped into my hand, so I wasn't going to draw them. But, well, this is Moon in Aquarius. Oh no, yeah, full moon in Aquarius is really wacky, and I don't want to offend any Aquarians, because people with sun in Aquarius are generally my favorite people. My late husband had a sun in Aquarius, my best friend does, my niece did, my late niece. I love Aquarius energy. It's really eccentric, and this person is nothing but eccentric. So the full moon in Aquarius is time to let your hair down and just, like, you know, if you want to do something weird, or if there's a weird part of you, just be in it. Oh, I had to keep going. Then we get the shadow of the past. I don't really see any cards here about the past, although the moon is your subconscious, which can always be the past, and these voices from the sky with the Nine of Swords in reverse can be the past. But the shadow of the past comes out. Okay. So you might be having some rememberings from long ago, or something that happened in the past come up during this full moon. Okay, well, two cards want to come out. Deep knowing. Well, there's the moon. And there's so yeah, Aquarius is really about knowledge. Aquarius loves to learn. It's the most intellectually curious sign in the zodiac. You know what? I shuffled these, and we got the exact same two cards last time, and I shuffled these. That's weird. Deep knowing and higher power. Okay. Wasn't that last time? It was either last time or the time before. These were the exact same two, and they came out again. So okay, go within. You know, full moon. It's in the subconscious. It's in there somewhere. If you look deep enough, and shadow of the past, maybe it's something that you need to think about that happened, you know. And you know what? It could even be something that happened that you thought at the time was really horrible, and it may actually have freed you from something. That just popped into my mind, so I'm not sure who that's meant for, but that came out very clearly. So something you thought was bad turned out to actually free you from something, or be a good thing in the long run. Remember, everything turns out in the end, so if it hasn't turned out, it's not the end. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thank you for listening. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I will talk to you again later. Good night. Thank you.